All right. All right, we're live. What's up, everybody? My name is Gabriel Quinn. Welcome to another live stream. Today is going to be a really fast live stream. We're just going to be sketching for just a few minutes, I think. So we're not going to be doing a lot with chat. We're just going to be doing this demo as best we can. So let me figure out where I am here. Alrighty. So yeah, today we're doing it a little bit later. Just going to be a really quick stream today. Yeah, things have been crazy busy, but we're doing it, man. We're doing it. We're never not doing it. Let's do. Yeah, so today, today we're working on some funky characters I was sketching last night just for fun. It was something that I just started. I kind of wanted to just continue practicing. I don't know about you guys, but practicing this idea of like putting our characters just in a slight perspective, grounding them in space, making sure that we are showing them like in context, essentially. Cool. So what does this mean? Well, returning viewers of the stream will know that I oftentimes draw kind of in sort of like a bit of like a flat manner. Like a lot of my character concepts will end up being very flat, very like head on. For instance, if I was drawing a character like this, I would kind of draw them in very head on, kind of have their outfit. They may still be posed, but essentially it's just very flat on a flat horizon kind of sketch. Nothing too crazy, nothing too fancy. And I like that graphically. As a illustrator, I'm very inspired by the kind of golden age of illustration, as well as, the kind of Gilded Age, Art Nouveau, Art Deco style. And if you know anything about those kind of eras, it's very head on. Not always, but in many ways, it's very, very head on. So we're going to be kind of trying to evolve a little bit out of that particular mode of operation. And we're going to be going more in this kind of 3/4, looking at these kind of drawings here for inspiration. And we're just going to be having some fun today, nothing too crazy. Oh, we got Calvin in the chat, Game Lords in the chat, Ray's in the chat. What's up, guys? Yeah, today's going to be a super short stream. I'm only going to be going for another, gosh, like 45 minutes, maybe? Yeah, we'll see. We will see. So yeah, so let's take a look at this, right? So we have these two drawings. If we were to do a kind of a sketch on top, for instance, we also got Paish in the chat. Welcome, Paish. If we look at kind of the plane this guy is on, we've kind of indicated the perspective with this robe, right? And as it gets higher and higher, we can kind of see the perspective slowly starting to lift. Like it's not quite isometric. Things start to level out around the top of the head kind of area. And then here, so we're kind of progressively getting lower. And that's just kind of like how perspective works, right? If you're looking down at something at an angle, the rate of change will increase the farther down it goes, all that stuff. You'll start to see more and more and more. So for this character, it's kind of a similar kind of plane here, kind of vibe, sort of like this is kind of the vibe we're going for in terms of like the plane he's on. Then as it kind of raises up, sort of gets more flat almost. And you still kind of see the top of the head here, but that's more because of the gesture of the head itself. But yeah, so we're kind of thinking about this sort of stuff. So one way to start working like this, oh, Calvin says, nice sketches done recently. Yeah, I just bashed those out last night. Just these guys are just for fun. I just got back from Lightbox, so I'm like super inspired and just really pushing that level up when we're in here. Mark of Art says, hi, Gabriel. Bye, Gabriel. It's midnight and tired is real. Oh, nice. Thanks, Mark of Art. I don't know if I've seen you in the chat before, but welcome. Thanks for stopping in. You have a great day as well, man. Definitely catch the replay. And Marco's here too. Sick. Yeah, this is going to be a short stream today. So we're going to actually be productive maybe because it's short. But yeah, one way to start thinking about this kind of stuff is, for instance, if we were to draw a box, can have that box like be in a version of perspective. It doesn't necessarily have to be a correct perspective. But let's say, do we want to be like hyper perspective? No, we don't. That's too much. So let's say the box is kind of like this, right? The backs kind of line up. This is kind of on the money a little bit too much, maybe. We got Mojo here. Welcome, Mojo. You guys are awesome. Love you guys. Also, oh my gosh, the channel's at 1,900 subs. That's crazy. We're almost at 2K. You guys have to help me think about what we're going to do for 2K because I don't know yet. I don't know what the 2K plan is, guys. We could do another sketch bonanza. That was kind of fun. But yeah, so if we have a box here, we could do like another one as well in a different perspective, just for fun. I mean, if you guys know Ahmed Al-Douri, gosh, what a nice guy. Love that guy. He always talks about drawing the platform that your character is standing on. That helps a lot because it grounds them on a plane. But let's say that we also kind of have the top as well here. This one's a little better to draw in than the other one. This one's not so correct. This one would more be like this, I think. Let's go with the new box. New box is better. So yeah, you can think about like if your character is contained to this cube, you can think about it like an action figure in a box. You know what I mean? Your action figure is standing here. You know, like the Buzz Lightyear meme. Oh my gosh, you guys know the Buzz Lightyear meme? The one where it's like, it's like you think you're unique and then you zoom out and it's like everyone's like you. Dude, that's kind of like Lightbox. You know, you're like working incredibly hard to try and like be interesting and and hype and stuff, and then you know, you meet just like a ton of other people who are just as interesting and like just as hype. It's kind of great. It's great to be humbled like that. Cool. So yeah, we've got this box here. We can think about reducing the opacity down to like 30, and then when we draw our character, we can think like, okay, well, if our feet are, let's new layer, if our feet are kind of like in this space, right, and they're receding and they're also forward in space. This is also assuming that you guys know basic perspective, but I kind of have to assume that to talk about this stuff. But yeah, if we're assuming that, again, we're thinking about this zone here, right, like the bottom of the feet, how it'll kind of like extend up into the body, and by the time you get to the top of the body, you'll be looking pretty much like, if it extends above the box here, you're pretty much going to be looking dead on to the face because the horizon line is pretty much here. So you're going to be looking dead on to the face, but you're going to be looking down at the feet. You're going to be seeing the tops of the feet. You're going to be seeing the top of kind of like the belt area here as well and stuff like that. So knowing this kind of perspective stuff is, I think it's good when drawing characters. Putting your characters in space is good, especially if you're focusing a little bit more on costume and stuff, is nice. So yeah, basically looking at these guys, the idea was I wanted to do kind of like stoic rulers. So this guy over here, he's very stoic, obviously. Look at his face. He's very stern. And he's holding his sword, his like ceremonial sword, and we can kind of add some little light embellishments if we want to kind of make it even more kingly, because a tool for like popular use or like utilitarian use often is a decorated object for the very wealthy. So like a sword is hyper, you know, filigreed and stuff. And like a gun is very filigreed and everything when it belongs to someone of note. A sword, even armor, is beautifully done and all this stuff. Marcus says, first how to draw tutorial, let's go. No, we're not. No, we do know how to draw tutorials. No, how to draw tutorials. There's too many on YouTube, man. I don't want to get into it. Too much. It's too much. You know, I might like deceive people. I might do like a how to draw characters, and it's just like a theory video, and people are just like really upset. They're like, but why didn't you give me the shortcut? Why didn't you tell me the cheat code, man? I want to know how to draw characters right now. So yeah, this is fun. So we kind of like had his little sword here. We had his cape. These kind of patterns and stuff is just very like, you know, in my brain. I just love these kind of patterns. These kind of like repeating, flowing, very simple patterns. Like, I don't know, when it comes to world building and when it comes to design, I love really focusing on things that feel true. And patterns like this feel true because you see these across every possible culture, these kind of patterns. It's sort of like your brain just loves to fill in space like this, and it looks really good and it feels really good. Paige says, do you have a favorite place / search term / culture to draw from for crazy armor and weapons? Oh, Jake here said he got a Genshin ad. Oh no. Oh no. Buddy, I'm so sorry. Oh, I mean, the channel is monetized now, guys. So sorry. Adele says, can't stay for the stream. Can't wait to watch the VOD in the morning. Oh, dude, I'm so glad, Adele. This one's going to be short, though, so it's going to be a short VOD, if anything. This is also a great reminder for anybody who loves the streams. If you want to join our community Discord, it's such a fun, awesome, wonderful place. We do drawing challenges 3 times a week. They're a lot of great fun. They're really great at pushing your capacity and pushing your skills. And you can join that by supporting the channel's Patreon for $3 a month. You can join. Anyone can join. It's only $3 a month, and you can come do drawing challenges with us. I host them. It's a great time. So that's if anybody wants to join our community, they can totally do that. Yeah, I'm still keeping the VODs totally accessible and free. I know some people kind of make the recordings, like watching the playbacks, kind of like a feature of like a thing, but I don't know. Not quite gonna be there for me yet. Michelangelo says, welcome Michelangelo. I think your streams show people tutorials and how they can draw anything. Oh, sick. Artistic Chi says, finally caught one. Hey, I'm Chi. Love your streams. Oh, thank you, Chi. So glad you're here. Glad you're able to catch one. We're not going to be on for much longer, though, so sorry. We're going to be dipping in like 30-ish minutes, I think. I shouldn't keep talking about how short the stream is going to be. I should just draw. And when it's time to say goodbye, we'll say goodbye. But yeah, so this guy's fun. On this side, we wanted to do, I love the shape of like this old kind of head. Like there's something kind of really beautiful about this shape where it's like a stoic head into like a beard into like a round shape. Like that's just so pleasing, right? Gosh, maybe I'll finally teach you guys about shape design. Everybody's been asking. But yeah, into it like a candle. I thought that was like a fun design motif. I thought it was a really, really fun design. Is this like almost skeletal old stoic head. And then everything kind of echoes that shape. So essentially the collar here is an echo and kind of just like continues on the shape. Kind of like gives space to hold the hat. Yeah, so that's cool. It's kind of like a receiving shape almost, which is nice. Marco says shape design tutorial, let's go. You can't teach shape design in one video. You absolutely can't do it. I don't even think you can really teach it in a concrete way, but you can learn through demos, right? You can definitely learn through demos, shape design and whatnot. You can do your best to learn anyway, but it's tough. For me, I think I really shot myself in the foot early by trying to think of shape design as something objective that I could learn. And it was only through just abandoning that and just drawing like a demon that I personally figured out my own strategy for learning shape design. Yeah, everybody wants to learn it, but nobody wants to just draw shapes and see if they look good. That's kind of the best way to learn, in my opinion. Or that's one way you can learn. I shouldn't say the best way to learn. But yeah, so we're thinking about characters in this kind of 3/4 angle. And what we're doing here also is we're using very intense blacks. We're using these dark blacks to block out shapes. And cast shadows, which is what we're dealing with here, we're dealing with only cast shadows. And that's an important distinction. If you guys know the anatomy of light, a cast shadow is essentially the shadow that appears when an object is hit with light. It's not a form shadow that's on the back. It's not that. It's a cast shadow. And the reason why we're only doing cast shadows is because it describes, describes form in a good way, depth. I think it helps. But you don't want to get too crazy with cast shadows, I don't think. Like, even if we were to push it and like do a cast shadow here, that like changes a lot of the vibe. It could be correct with the light, but we don't really want that. We could do a little one here. But even that, it's kind of like taking some of the energy away. So we want to use light to sculpt shapes as well. Marco says, correct me if I'm wrong, but for me, a big aha moment has been drawing something towards a specific direction, and the drawing in itself is the shape design, if that helps anyone who's learning it. Specific direction, the drawing in itself. Yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? Is that if you think about shape design as designing shapes, because that's what it is, it spans anatomy, light, it spans costume, prop, proportion, expression. Shape design goes across all metrics. Style has a lot to do with shape design. A huge amount to do with shape design. Actually, we don't even need headphones today, I don't think. No, we're not hosting anybody today. We can just be free. We can free our head, which is pretty cool. But yeah, we don't want to just be staring at this all day, so let's do some drawing. Try and do some stuff. I'm not warmed up today, so we're just going to do our best here. Here, let me tilt this guy up. Jake says, primal shape design and theory haunts me in my nightmares. Yeah, well, you studied under Scott Flanders, so Scott Flanders is gonna teach you that, and teach you it again, and teach you it again, and teach you it again, from what I know, which is great. It's really great. And even that idea of like primal shape design, it's like, even that is super subjective too. Carbon's here. Australian legend. Let's go. So I kind of want to draw a guy with a shield. I don't know why, but I just do. So we're going to do a little guy with a shield here. I kind of want to do a shield guy, maybe. Mojo says, I feel like a shape design has a lot to do with someone's style. That too. Well, it's very relevant in style, shape design, because the shapes you choose is dependent on your style, for sure. But even, gosh, I think we'll do like a ultimate guide to shape design at some point, but that's going to be probably a while. We'll have to do an ultimate guide to shape design part 1. Volume 1, Chapter 1, Part 1, 1A, and then we'll do 1B, and then it'll go on forever, because you can go on forever with shape design. So again, what we're doing is we're deciding the perspective. This is what Kim Jong-il does a lot, is basically what he draws dictates the perspective of the rest of the drawing. Everything just follows the rule, but he knows it so well that he just kind of makes it work, and the logic ends up working out. So we're going to attempt to do that process here, which, we'll see how far we get. We'll probably have some mistakes. I mean, even Kim makes mistakes. He'll point them out to you, too. R.I.P. also. Damn. I'm so sad I never got to meet him. He's such a legend. Shape design featuring Cynics. Yeah. Yeah, Cynics does good shape design videos. I think his are a great first chapter for shape design because it's objective, right? What he teaches is objective, which is good. Like big, medium, small, all that stuff. Like those things are kind of objective terms that can be used subjectively. So we're just going to be drawing some dudes here, or a dude rather. We're going to do the same beard shape because I like doing it. I love this beard shape so much. I love it. Like just look at it. It's perfect. The eyes here. This is like comfort zone shape for me. Like I can bash out this character that I just drew right here. I can bash this out in seconds, man. Anytime, any day. I don't know who he is, but I can just do him whenever, wherever, any angle. Mojo says, studying shape design mostly from Cynics makes a lot of my stuff look like Cynics. Yeah, exactly. I had that with Psychro when I was in high school. All my stuff looked like Psychro. Joanna says, what is your resolution for the document you use? Oh, that's pretty easy. This one is about 5K by 3.5K approximately. So I use pretty much like an equivalent to A3. So if I were to make a new document, I have a lot of document sizes. A3, I have it set to millimeters at 300 dpi. This might be double A3. No, this is A3. So if I were to print this in A3, it would be 420 by 297 millimeters. And then when I create it, it's that document size. It's 4961 by 3508. Oh yeah, sorry. I realized that actually, wait, since I switched the, hang on, I can bring it in. You know, a while ago I changed the, whoa. Wait, there we go. Now you can see. Boop. Move me around. I was about to say, you should be able to see from the resolution from the stream, but I forgot that I moved that when I couldn't move my menu bar away. Ray says, wow, your PC must be a beast. Oh, because I'm streaming and I'm using a large file. You know, funny story about that is that I'm actually on a $700 Mac Mini. I am on the M1 Mac Mini, and I am streaming right now at 1080p with a good mic and a good camera with OBS open and giant Photoshop and all this stuff. So shout out to the M1 Mac Mini, baby. Let's go. I knew, man. I knew when the M1 came out, I was like, whoa, this is all I need, man. And it is. Although I do need an upgrade pretty soon, though, because I'm going to start doing Blender. And when I start doing Blender, oh, man, with what I want to do with it, it's going to be a lot. All right, we're actually going to remove the platform here and just sort of let this drawing naturally fall where it will in terms of perspective, because I feel like it will. It'll just kind of naturally sort itself out. And by the time the legs kind of hit the ground, we're going to be seeing kind of the top of the feet here. Same on the other side. Although we want it to be a little bit more balanced, so we'll probably plant the feet a little bit farther out. Paige says currently in Blender while listening to this stream. Rip your Mac Mini. Yeah, exactly. R.I.P. the Mac Mini. I mean, I've actually ran Blender on the Mac before and it was fine. But I feel like once I drop once I do anything of note, I'm just gonna, I don't know. Actually, also what is an issue is I don't have a lot of local storage or RAM. This is like this computer has like no RAM at all, but it's like integrated RAM, so it's good. But I gotta upgrade eventually. Hey guys, like this video, subscribe, and share the channel with your friends so that I can upgrade my computer. Oh man. Sweet. So We're just kind of messing around here. Oh, we got Marco. We got double Marco in the chat yet again. All right, quick time check. All right, I've got about, I think maybe 15-ish minutes. Nothing too crazy. Oh, my beloved Isabel is in the chat. Let's go. Or she's tuned in. We love her. We love my girlfriend. She's the best. All right, let's do like a cool shield. I want to do like a big one maybe. Something really cool. Yeah, something kind of epic, right? We want this guy to feel epic. So we're also going to do some armor on this guy. Armor, honestly, is not that hard. Armor just takes a little bit of study, a little bit of knowledge of how things lock into place. And armor is pretty, it kind of explains itself after a while. So don't be intimidated by armor if it looks like a lot. Usually if you're having trouble with armor, you just have trouble a little bit more with human anatomy and proportion. Once you get your anatomy and proportion kind of on board and working in unison, the armor will kind of make more sense to you usually. Let's make his head a little small. Make him a little bit bigger. Can also kind of erase this, a sort of vibe maybe. Let's see here. Joanna says, do you end up posting unfinished sketches somewhere, or do you stick to posting stuff that's more polished? Gosh, I haven't been posting anything recently at all, but that needs to change, I think. Usually on Instagram, I used to share a lot more rough stuff, but actually there's just most of my work is right now unpublished. Yeah, I got a bit of a block in terms of like posting things, but I'm actually going to do a purge pretty soon. So I'm going to do a artwork purge, and I think I'm just going to clear my portfolio and clear my website and start fresh, because I feel like I've leveled up so much more from where I was even like half a year ago. And I feel like seeing the work that I did that long ago all the time, or feeling like I'm posting next to that stuff, I feel like I'm kind of compromising a little bit. Or the work that you do in the past can kind of like haunt you in the present if you're not careful. So for me, I know I can do better stuff, and I kind of want to just fully reset and just aim for a higher bar. Marco says, OMG armor. I've been trying to do armor lately. Do you have more tips for the design itself? Yeah, I do. So tips for armor is basically, you can honestly just learn the different pieces of armor and you'll be fine. Like even for gauntlets, for instance, like you'll have the piece that goes over the wrist, or not over the wrist, over the forearm, right? And that'll be its own piece. And then that piece is overlapped by the elbow piece, which curves in here and kind of has the sort of pointy bit here, essentially. But the way it stays protected is usually there's a flat piece here and here, which cover the open joint on the inside, right? So essentially then the wrist is exposed except the hand, which you kind of have here with all the little bits and pieces or whatever. The hand, on the back of the gauntlet, there's another piece that goes on top. But this piece that goes on top can articulate back and forth. So it doesn't restrict movement here, right? And then this piece doesn't restrict movement, but the opening that would be on the inside here is protected by these side pieces. And then it would continue up, and then after the shoulder piece, the kind of pauldron sort of thing, there's another flat piece, and then it usually layers down on the side from the shoulder into another piece here. So like everything fits together. This makes no sense, but essentially, yeah. Like they're just, it's like Lego. And once you learn the kind of like OG armor placement, then you can start getting crazy with the aesthetic of the armor. But you have to solve the function first. If you solve the function first, then you can do whatever you want with the armor, because essentially then you're figuring out, well, what's functional and what's not. Because if oh man, I can like see when like ads are inserted. It's like telling me when ads are popping up. Gosh. Maybe I'll probably turn off ads for the actual live stream, and then we'll maybe turn them on for the VODs. I don't even know. Marco says, this is priceless information. I have a character that wears armor most of the time, but I still struggle. Thank you. It makes sense. Thank you. Yeah. Well, you can also just like look up pieces of armor. Like people who learn this stuff everybody, this is my personal opinion. This is my actual personal opinion. People romanticize learning certain information, and they're like, oh dude, you got to learn anatomy, man. And it's like really hard and you have to learn it. It's like, it's just a bunch of muscles that fit together and do different things. It doesn't actually take that long to learn. It does. It actually does take a very long time to learn, but it's not that crazy. And the same with armor. It's not that crazy to learn how armor works if you're going to be doing a lot of fantasy characters and stuff. Same with belts and this and that, the anatomy of cloth. Like this stuff doesn't take a crazy amount of time. It's it's sort of like, it's very logical. But also I see Javier has a question as well, but I'll answer that in a second. So like for instance, if we were to do an arm, right, and we were just to kind of like block in this arm and there's a shoulder piece, we have to think about what is functional for the shoulder piece. So let's say it curves over and protects the shoulder. That is its function, right? Of this piece, that is its function. However, if we were to do a little lip above on this side, that's also functional because it stops / attacks from going. And you actually see this design in a lot of old school armor and stuff. You see this little ridge here, right? To protect from glancing blows off the shoulder. You want to catch those glancing blows. And then you can kind of see that, but you never see them go too high unless you're on horseback. Then they have giant pieces that come in front to protect the neck. But then you're not using your head much, right? But if we're just thinking shoulder piece, if it were to be and we also have this hanging piece here that protects the armpit. Armpits are actually very important to protect for armor. Nerve center of the body. Or it's like a nerve center. But yeah, if we were to make this piece have like a ton of bling, swing, 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 that's going to be functionally impossible for the person to move in. So we don't want to bling it out there. But aesthetically, we could put something kind of on the shoulder piece, and it could, in theory, kind of like jut out in like a strange way. As long as it doesn't restrict any movement of the character, you could kind of do stuff like this, right? Have like crazy pieces that kind of extend off of it, because it's going to be rising and falling with their arm anyway. So it won't interrupt with the movement. And you can kind of have some fun there, unless they're like holding anything that would get in the way of it, like a shield or something. But you can kind of do crazy aesthetic stuff. However, one which is good, which is this one, which is what I do a lot personally, is I'll do like kind of a high fin, but it comes out from like the side, right? Because this isn't too high that it would restrict movement of the head. It's not going to get hit by anything. Oh, people are moving stuff outside. All that stuff. Or even what you see, for instance, in like, they do this a lot in World of Warcraft, is some kind of like, it holds like a gem here, right? It like holds like a gem thing and it does whatever. Or classically, what you do is you'd have the face of a creature, like a lion's head. But the lion's head is always here, and it always kind of like, do you guys hear that? Someone's like bonging the gong out there. But yeah, like a lion's head here. That's one way to add aesthetic to your armor that's not restrictive of movement. Kitano Ken says, sorry, another question. Do you have any advice for transitioning from traditional line art to digital painting? Having some trouble with light and color. Dude, learning painting is really hard. That is not easy. I know I was just joking around about how, like, anatomy and this and that and blah, 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 like that stuff's kind of easy. It's not, well, first of all, it's not easy. I'm being facetious. But light and color and painting, it is a science in and of itself, first of all. So learning that is really hard. Secondly, my goodness. Yeah. Any advice? Well, I don't think I would be the right channel to watch right now for learning digital painting, light and color. I would check out channels like Marco Bucci, who's a really great guy, by the way. We connected at Lightbox this year, which was sick. I was the first person who ever recognized him in person, which is kind of wholesome. Let me link you to Marco Bucci's channel so you can check it out. Marco Bucci. Yeah, he's just a homie, you know? He's just a homie. But light and color, he's got a lot of stuff going on. It's stuff to get you started. If you want a fast track, like if you want to learn digital painting like fast, then honestly, my buddy Ahmed Al-Douri, he did a course designed for digital painting called Meds Map. And Meds Map is really good. There's the trailer for Meds Map that you can watch. Martin Bayes is here. Yo, welcome. But yeah, honestly, Ken, start with fundamentals and start with painting from observation. Like, paint what you see. If you have traditional paints, it's a great practice to go out and do some plein air. If you don't have access to that, then you can do some digital plein air from reference and stuff. But painting from observation helps a lot. Nice. Yeah, keep studying. Let's go. Yeah, Meds Map is amazing. He killed it with that. And Javier, sorry for taking so long to answer your question. Any tips on proportions? Every time I start figure drawing, it feels like measurements are off. The head is too big, small, legs are too short. Yeah. So proportion is something you really learn consciously once, in my opinion. And once you really learn those proportions, you can lean on that information for the rest of your life. So you kind of have the classic head measurements where I think, gosh, is it 8 heads or is it 7 heads? I don't even remember. But essentially, you have like your head measurements. Yeah, I think I want to say 7. And you kind of break the body up into all these different things. And like halfway is like the hips, rib cage, shoulders. And you like learn this stuff. And you can learn this pretty early on. Knees and everything like that. It's probably 8 heads, to be honest. Or no. 8 heads is the Korean aesthetic preference. And then you have the actual head and stuff. But yeah, learning proportions is good to do. I'll show you the video that I learned from, which is like ancient. And this guy, oh man. Psychra, I love Psychra. A lot of his, oh gosh, dude, this is so ancient. I don't even think I'm able to share this anymore confidently because it's such old information. Yeah, I think it's 8 heads, I'm pretty sure. In any case, so yeah, learning proportions. There's people who do it way better than I do. There's a reason why I'm a world builder, streamer kind of artist guy, like drawing fundamentals. Well, honestly, from streaming, I kind of see why everybody teaches fundamentals because everybody wants to learn. So I might do a couple of those in the future. But there are a lot of resources for learning proportions online, which can help you a lot for human anatomy. But proportions are something you learn, and then you have those rules, and you can break those rules. That's almost the most important part, is to know when to break those rules. Because my goodness, it can get so stagnant so fast. Also, my favorite, oh yeah, I got you, dude. I mean, even for the head, like learning the proportions of the head for me was like magic, because you don't know. You're just like in your room, or you're just in the world, and like you just don't know what to do. And all of a sudden, you draw the skull and you draw the jaw. And you measure halfway in between that. You got your eye sockets. Halfway between that, you got the nose. Halfway between that, you got the mouth. And next thing you know, you've got a guy. And I remember when I was a kid and I drew this, I was like, oh my gosh, it doesn't look terrible. It's a miracle. This is crazy. This is actually very nostalgic doing this. I remember I volunteer at a middle school and stuff, and sometimes I teach them some drawing tips. And whenever I work with like young kids, I always teach the anatomy of the face because it's always so mind-blowing. Ayub says, wasn't here for the first sketches. What are they for? Oh, these? This is for, I guess, I don't know, maybe a new project, maybe nothing. But I'm just developing these ideas. Things are still pretty unclean right now. I'm just kind of dropping in a bunch of shapes, not really paying attention to any of the folds or anything that I should be paying attention to. I should be more intentional. But I'm just kind of coming up with ideas as I sketch out these guys. But I don't know. I'm working with some blacks today. Some dark black colors. Some deep shadows. One thing I also love on nights is I love the kind of cloth. I don't know. It's like this thing that kind of hangs down. It's almost like a front cape and a back kit now. It's like a skirt, but not actually. But I love it. I love it so much. I think it's such a sick element of design for like night characters. Anything that shows like your colors or your house colors or anything, I just can't get enough of it, man. It's so cool. Let's do a time check. All right, so I got to bounce about 10 minutes ago, but we're just gonna rough these up. But yeah, I'm imagining lore-wise, like this guy is very like, he's trying to do his best to serve the kingdom. And this guy's kind of like an oppressive ideological figurehead, you know? He's obsessed maybe with like future sight, but it's like not actually accurate. Like it could just be delusion, but like correlation causation. Maybe he's like, I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, I kind of have this idea that maybe there's this kind of like oppressive force revolved around light, revolved around whatever. And there's kind of like the king who's trying to do his best maybe, but he's kind of got a corrupt advisor, sort of a classic dynamic. We're just going to pull from our knowledge we just talked about with armor and whatnot. And I mean, with armor and stuff, like you'd see like some pieces just fit and slide on, and some pieces have buckles and fasteners. I believe the arm piece here would be empty. Yeah, I believe the interior of the armpit kind of side would be sort of empty here. But there would be this to protect the armpit. Same on this side too. Got to protect our boy. But he doesn't rock a helmet because he's too cool. Too cool for a helmet, unfortunately, so he's probably going to die because you need a helmet. But this guy doesn't need a helmet, or so he thinks. So let's give him... What kind of weapon? All right, let's do a chat vote. What kind of weapon should this guy have, do you guys think? A mace, a big hammer. All right. We like blunt weapons for this guy apparently. Nice. We got 2 for mace, 1 big hammer. Yeah, it just feels right, doesn't it? He feels like a mace wielding guy. A flamberge. Oh my gosh, love a flamberge. Big old mace. All right, we're going blunt force. We'll do a flamberge character another time, maybe. I love a flamberge. I feel like if a character has a flamberge, like you need to know who they are. Like they've got like lore to why they have like such a sick weapon. All right, if he's got a mace, let's see. It's got to be long. It's got to be a thwacky mace. How would he use it? If he has such a big shield, how would he use his mace? What kind of mace would it be? I feel like it would be like one of those maces with like all the little bits. Like a big old counterweight. Something big. When in doubt, angle the hand, baby. Angle the hand. What kind of mace is this guy rocking? Or maybe, you know what? We're going to do the classic maybe he's like holding the top and it's like on the ground or something. Or he's like holding it like his hands on the pommel, right? Cool. So our perspective isn't 100% correct here, but that's kind of okay. It's not so bad. I feel like if we're going to give him a big mace, he can't have a big shield. You know? Like it's got to be like a two-handed mace. Like one hand's over the other. This kind of deal. Yeah, there we go. Now he's feeling kind of correct in terms of vibe. Can even put his head back a little bit. I think this leg would honestly be further back now. Kind of be like over here. Cool. Well, we can clean this guy up more later. But for now, I like him. I like him a lot. Like, unironically, I like him a lot. He's kind of cool. So, especially with armor, we can use some kind of like deeper blacks, some kind of cast shadows and stuff. Start to place some forms on him. Same with the cloth, you know. Focusing on those cast shadows. Gosh, I did way more than I thought I would today with this stream. But I am running overtime, which I gotta go. Gotta go see my family, which I'm excited about. Love my family. It's so cool, like a ton of my family's in New York right now, so we get to spend more time than we normally get to, which is nice. Like a big old mace. I mean, even this is kind of like, I think aesthetically we can do better. You know what I mean? But we might have to save that for next stream. I also love the kind of chess pieces where they kind of have like a top sort of like break almost, and the bottom is like layered and kind of fits together. Like I love that. I love that aesthetic so much. So we'll probably give this guy some of that as well. But yeah, I also want to give this guy some cool, like another kind of like flap of cloth behind him if we can. Let's figure out how to make it fit. Can also give him a cape if we want. We could extend it up even. Give him kind of a cool lord effect maybe. All right, the only thing we have to fix is the placement of his feet, and then he's pretty much good to go. But we'll have to do that on, I think, the next stream. All right, next time we'll come back to this guy. We'll do some more edits, and we'll kind of make sure his feet are working. We'll figure that out, and then we'll also probably fix the mace too, because right now, shape wise, it's kind of wacky. But I love how far we got with this guy. That was like a lot farther than I thought we would get today. So that's cool. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Wait, he slays. Wait, he's cool. Wait, that's like working. He's working. I shouldn't sound surprised. Flipping canvas always helps you fix your broken perspective. Always. Definitely make sure you guys are flipping canvas a lot. We also got to fix this tangent with the mace handle. But yeah, this was super fun. Oh, Keegan Miller's here. What up, Keegan? Yeah, sorry, buddy. We're about to log off. Today was a super fast stream. We just wanted to talk about placing our characters in a more convincing perspective to kind of increase their sense of depth, their sense of character. So we kind of looked at some sketches I did yesterday, which was a lot of fun. We did these guys yesterday. We kind of touched on what was working, what wasn't working. And yeah, here we're just sketching. Oh my gosh, wait, I forgot to change the title. We're not designing crap, guy. Awkward. Awkward. Oops. We're not doing crab guy. So sad. Yeah, it's going to be a short VOD. Sorry. But yeah, thank you so much for joining, everybody. And definitely remember to like the video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. If you're a new viewer, welcome. So glad you're here. And yeah, we're going to stream again tomorrow. I'm going to try to stream for a much longer time tomorrow. I'm going to try to do it from like 11 EST, or no, not even 11. Yeah, like 10:30, 11 EST, all the way to like 2 or something. Like I'm gonna try to do a long one tomorrow. So we'll see how far we get there. But yeah, this was a lot of fun, everybody, and thanks for tuning in. And I gotta remember to sketch bigger as well for you guys, so you can see. But yeah, that was a ton of fun, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in, and all the best. Mwah. Mwah. Goodbye.